This game has basically been everywhere. This is Billy Bust Up for anybody who's wondering, and I've been trying for a very long time to beat this game blindfolded, working out the best technique for repeatability and consistency. And I've seen a lot of people give it a shot, and I saw somebody do it within a couple of days. Now, I have my questions. Ooh. I have my questions as to its legitimacy because they don't have any setup, they don't have any consistency in their run at all. It seems as random button tabs and very specific movements that you can't do blindfolded. There is backup strategies and stuff, and if you want to see the undisputed god of blindfolded shenanigans, go check out Bubsy on YouTube. He is insane. He's also on TikTok and a bunch of other places. Go check him out. He is the undisputed king when it comes to blindfolded stuff, at least in my opinion. He has every record on Super Mario 64, and it's just insane. But when you watch somebody who plays a lot of blindfolded runs, you'll notice that they have very specific setups and button inputs where they need to be. They know exactly where they're going to be. It's not a question to them. Their backup strategies might be because they have to work out where they are. And trying to get a reference point of where you are in a game like this and other games is really, really difficult. So I've worked out my strategy, and I know that it is very consistent and repeatable, and I can pretty much do it whenever. Maybe not on one hit mode, because there's always a little bit of finicky stuff, but definitely on the normal mode in this game. So I've done this. I have got this recorded, and I have got it uploaded over on TikTok, but I'm going to upload it here so you guys get to see it as well in all of its glory. Now, this was the first time I managed to actually get this done. It's about 50 hours into the game, and it was brutal to get the practice down. But I'm going to walk you through before that official run through, which if you want to skip to the end of the video, I won't be mad to watch that playthrough. I'm going to show you my technique for doing the whole thing. So let's go through it. Before we get into the run, I have to explain a couple of things. There are two moments in this game where you will either go sideways or upside down. If you're sideways, your A key will still push you left or down in this case, and your D key will still push you right or up. If you're upside down, okay, right will still push you to the right-hand side of the screen. D will still push you that way, and A will still push you to the left-hand side of the screen. It doesn't stay the way that you would think it would when it flips you upside down, because, you know, right over here would push us to the left. I know that's complicated, and that's the bit I have to explain, because you need setups for those specific locations. If you're moving about in that, I'm immediately going to think that your run is fake. Purely because if you don't know where you are, how are you knowing which direction you're moving? Let's talk about a run. This is a full run that I just recorded. And right at the start, as soon as we spawn in, we can hear Billy running. We have to do 6 taps to the right on our keyboard. Now, I'm using keyboard purely because it's way more consistent for me than an analog stick is on a controller. I'm really bad with the controller on this. It might be more consistent if you have like the octagonal piece you can stick on a controller, but I've worked this out to do it with a keyboard. So 6 taps to the right. Our first jump is on the lyrics of Trust Me. It's on the word me. It's a triple jump. Now, whenever I say triple jump or quadruple jump, we're going to talk about it like this. So it's a double jump, so space bar, and then if you left click, you will use your sword. If you right click, you will use your umbrella. So a triple jump is space, and then left click. So it gives you that little bit extra height, a little bit extra distance. Quadruple jumps are space, left click, right click, and hold. It gives you the extra distance so you float. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's continue. So on me, we do a triple jump. And then on to die for, we jump to the left on die for, jump back to the right on the next 2 beats after we land. As soon as we land, we have to tap our left key 3 or 4 times. It's very dependent on how long you think you held it. I usually do 4, and it's usually pretty consistent. So 4 quick taps puts us roughly back in the middle. Every jump throughout this section is on time with beat, and it's just a triple jump. That's it. Nice and simple. You make every platform. It'll look a little bit dodgy when you watch it back, but you'll make it. The only change is right here. You will do a double jump in the middle. So we use the knife once. You do a triple jump for that. For the second one, you do a double jump and then a quadruple jump. So here's our double. And there's our quad to make the gap. That means we're still in the center. All of this section is just jump to the beat. Now, I like to mash my spacebar in this section here, just because it's a little bit inconsistent, and this is the only space of the run where I don't have a consistent strategy for left and right. You will probably end up dying here more than once. I've done it so many times on my live streams. It's just unlucky. So that's kind of the breakdown for this. Until I work out a way better way to be consistent with this, this is the best I've got. Okay, now I know this isn't the most consistent way, but it gets me through about 80% of the time. Because we've been really careful and lined ourselves up at least enough to be in the center, this bridge is where we line up for our next jump. If you're too far left or too far right, you'll end up potentially getting slingshot through, and the next sequence won't work because this is very specifically timed. As we come up to this bit, he'll say a lyric of "to die," and it'll be a really long one. You have to wait one beat, okay, and then jump. You'll avoid the little acid puddle. Watch this. So die, jump, and then you'll land on the other side, and it's just a triple jump, followed by a quadruple jump as soon as you land, and then another triple jump if you want to. Okay, you can get away with a double. All of this is the first jump of the first syllable of Dynamite's the first jump. Flattened by a cow, one beat after, one beat back. Real simple, put you back in the middle. This is a little bit of muscle memory, and then it's just jumping to the beats. Now it's a little bit off for the Dynamites. You will work that out when you play it. You can quadruple jump the gap there over the lobsters. It's up to you. I like it for consistency's sake because it means when I land and I'm still holding my umbrella button, I'll hear my shield pop up. That's my indication that I know I need to tap my right key twice. Because we don't want to be centered for this entire next section. If we're centered, we end up hitting the bikes at the back end and it kills us. We don't want that. So we hit this right so it gets us slightly off center, and then we just continue a triple jump pattern the whole way through. First one's on the word spike. So triple jump on the first syllable spike, and then you just continue that right through. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, the whole way through. You'll have no issues making it through there, and you'll be lined up for this last bit. Now, specifically on this, there can be some issues. I've had issues like this constantly, and I get stuck on the tombstone. If you get stuck, just rapidly right-click. If you hear your shield pop up, the shield noise, just move left or right. Eventually, you'll get yourself unstuck, and you shoot into the tunnel. The only setup I have down this tunnel is after a certain period, we just push to the right. I want to make sure I have a reference point. This is what makes me think that certain people are faking their runs, is they just run directly into the middle. They don't have a reference point. They don't make sure they're set up in the right location. So pushing all the way to the right or all the way to the left, whichever you're more comfortable with, will give you a reference point. You're going to know that you're up against that right-hand wall. When it comes to the lyrics in this section, when I know to push left is when they say gator, okay? Go straight to the left, and then it's just... I have a consistent pattern that I always use when I do this, and it's S-A-A-W-W-D-D-S on repeat. So you end up holding 2 at the same time for 1 beat, and you just do that for every single beat. It's a tight circle. It looks like you're going to run into the alligators, but you're going to be fine. Now, this last section is really hard to explain, and I'm not super consistent at it myself. I want to be honest there. I've had to guess a lot of this, and I'm getting more consistent the more I practice. The first jump is 1 beat later than you think it is, because I always jump early, and I probably did it in the video you're about to see. You jump early, so long as you do a single jump, followed by a delayed double jump, you should be able to make the first 3 lasers. And then if you just continue a bit of a square box jump for the last couple, and just go around in a square, you should be fine to get through that section. That is the hardest section of the blindfolded run for the time being. As soon as we fall out of the cage, we have a brand new reference point. It always drops us just to the right of center inside the pot, which means once we get to the edge of the pot and we start to fall down, the last 3 beats or the last 3 lyrics before there's a break, I usually tap left 3 times. And you hopefully see it here. I was a little bit off because I think I jumped in this recording. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, nothing but a shoe. Jump consistently, it is 10 jumps, okay? And on the 10th jump, you need to listen to the music and push right until the music crescendos. It should line you up pretty close to the center of that burner. And then this is where we're getting into one of those bits I spoke about at the start of this, where we have a setup. Okay, this is a really important piece because if you don't do this correctly, you will not be lined up for the rest of it and you're not going to know where you are. Because you can't adjust when the camera turns sideways or upside down, you need to have the setup nice and early. Otherwise, you're not going to know where you are, and if you move left and you think it was right, you're going to have a bad time. So, when the lyrics say, oh, why, push all the way to the left. So on oh, why, and as soon as that Y ends, you should be able to let go of your left key and you should be in the right spot. I can't guarantee it because the lineup for this guillotine is tough. So you might be a little bit further right, or you might be a little bit further left. It's a very fine line. Because you slowly drift in this demo to the right, you need to set that up so that you will drift into the right place. You're going to look off center, but it's going to be correct. So we drifted to the left, then it's just jumping on the beat. As long as you're consistent with your jumps, you should make all the lasers. You shouldn't have any issues. You'll be a little close on a few of them, but it will be fine. And then just triple jump over the knife. I do it out of habit. There's no need to. Because we've lined ourselves up and we know we didn't hit the lava and we know we didn't die there, we're probably on that bridge. Okay, there are other ways to get past it. This, I think, is way more consistent. And it means you know you're going to be in the right place. If you could skip the lava, you're probably not going to know where you actually are. Making sure you hit that bridge means you know where you are. I know that I'm now in the middle of the map, which means I'm lining myself up for the first kebab that is down the bottom. Our first jump to get through the first kebab is on the second syllable of the lyric of frappe. So we do our first triple jump on the second syllable, and we do another triple jump as soon as we land. So that should look like this. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The next jump we do is a quad jump. Now this can glitch. It might look a bit weird, and I think it actually happens in the proper run that I'm going to show you in a minute. We do a quadruple jump on the word try. So as soon as he says try, we do our double jump, attack, and then use our umbrella and hold it right across the gap. When kebab ends, you should hit the ground, and you have to jump as soon as you land. Otherwise, you get hit by this laser. It's very, very finicky. It's very close. 2 jumps on the beat should get you over both those lasers. And then it is just listen for the knife and jump in time with the beat, and you should be perfectly fine to make the rest of it. Because you're already lined up, you just get to chill out. Once you make that knife jump, you're all good to go. You make it through to the end. You can celebrate. You can do whatever. You can be super happy about it. Just like that. That's it. Like, to me, I can't imagine you moving around in that entire last sequence other than those very specific movements. You have no idea where you are. There's no invisible walls on the side, so you're probably going to end up in lava. So you need to have that very consistent setup. Anyway, now that I've walked you through it, I want to see if you guys can try it. Here is my official run.
Now where do you think you're
Let's do
going?
this.
The party is this way, and trust me, it's to die for. I know we'll be the best of friends, so there's no need to run. The sooner you get dead, the sooner you can join the fun. No need to feel, for I am here. Your mortal form will disappear. Now should we use this rusty knife or acid water again? There's a million gruesome ways to die. So why resist when the party's just begun? We'll be having so much fun. There's a million gruesome ways to die. Why stay alive? And I'm sure your death will be second to none.
Okay, we made it past. Thank you guys for the tips. I appreciate it a lot. Without you guys, it's impossible. Let's go! Alright, we're in the tunnel. We gotta get past this bit though. This bit is insanely difficult.
We could put you in a cage with the hungry alligator.
Let's go!
Trampled by an elephant or turned to roast stew. Or tried to fight a dragon armed with nothing but a shoe. We could do a mommy's curse. We'll put you in a fancy hearse. Or turn into a stuffy now. That's something we can do. There's a million gruesome ways to die. I thought I'd try the guillotine. Nobody exists when the party's just begun. I give so hard I broke my spleen. There's a million.
I hope I'm far enough left.
Some ways to die. There must be something we can try. Sure, your death will be second to none. Maybe you can choke upon a grape to die. Put you in a blender and prepare to die. Maybe we can find an angry mob. Tie you on a stake and cook you up like a kebab. To die. Smothered by a pillow in your bed.
Oh, come on.
Gluten overdose from too much bread.
Oh, please.
You can join the party 'cause you're dead. I'm sure your death will be second to
Let's go!
sure your death
Ah!
will be second to
Come on! That's about as good as we will ever get. We've officially beaten Billy Bust Up's A Million Gruesome Ways to Unalive blindfolded on one hit mode. We've been trying that for weeks!